I'm Beth and I am an education recruitment consultant with ANZUK Education, here today to talk to you about job applications. So this is the time of year where a lot of schools will start putting roles up on things like Recruitment Online on their websites. So we want to offer you some quick fire tips to help you along your way if you are interested in applying for jobs. So we're going to introduce you to some tips about your CV writing, producing your key selection criteria, and also taking on your interview so that you've got some great starting points to help you get the job that you're looking for. So first of all, let's have a look at some top tips for producing your curriculum vitae, your resume, your CV. So something to keep in mind is definitely the length of the document. So it's very easy to overdo it and detail every single experience that you've had, but in that you run the risk of potentially losing in the reader's engagement or even losing sort of specific duties you might have done that might be really specific to the job that just get lost in a CV that's too wordy. But at the same time, a CV that's too short could leave the reader asking too many questions or maybe overlook your CV completely because they might not know the entirety of your experience if you haven't explained it and might not think that you're appropriate for the job as a result. So ideal length for a CV is probably 3 to 5 pages depending on your experience or the job you're applying for. So the next tip I want to talk about for you is the type of experience that you might want to discuss in your CV. So this isn't necessarily related to immediate paid experience as a teacher in the classroom. So really consider extra things that you can add to your CV to show more of who you are and where you've come from that could be really relevant to the job that you're applying for. So consider volunteer work that you might have taken on in the past, both sort of working with children and also directly within a school community, and even hobbies, things that you're interested in doing outside of your teaching that you could also use in the classroom or to support the school in an extracurricular way as well. So another great thing to add to your CV when you're applying for a job from the get-go is referee details. So often when you are applying for a teaching position, schools will want to see you include at least one principal class referee, so a principal or vice principal. Usually if you're a graduate teacher, it's great to include contacts such as your mentor teachers from your placements and also uni lecturers or tutors as long as they have observed your teaching. So make sure that you do ask permission before passing on your referee details on your CV because a lot of the time schools will want to follow up sort of straight away to get sort of more detail about your prior experience and what you've done well, how you might fit the role really well. So it's great to add the person's contact details, their role at the school, so their personal number, school number, email, etc. So all of that information is available so that the schools can get straight on to doing a reference check for you. Testimonials as well are really great to collect along your teaching duty and teaching journey and can be great to sort of submit alongside, but just contact details is usually fine to start off with. So when you are adding your work history to your CV, it's usually best to add your most recent experience first and then filter it through to longer periods of time ago, initial work, etc. And when it comes to the type of information you provide, you generally want to make the most recent work that you've done the most detailed, including bullet points about your main duties and responsibilities, and then filter your way down so it maybe becomes less specific as you go. It's really great to highlight on your CV how each role you might have taken on shows progression in your career, more that you've learned, different responsibilities that you've taken on, and try to keep it unique to initial or individual contributions that you were able to make. So were you involved in a brand new initiative at the school? Did you lead a team? Try to avoid adding details of things that everybody will have done as part of their teaching responsibilities, such as yard duties or attending staff meetings. Those things aren't going to help as much when it comes to you being assessed against other people who might also be applying for the same role as you. And finally, when it comes to CV writing, the best thing to remember is that this is really your first impression. So even things like proofreading are really important when it comes to producing a great CV. So before you submit it, just double check for things like spelling mistakes, making sure the pages are ordered and all included, double checking your contact details and your referee's contact details so that you feel really confident when you submit it. Getting somebody else to look at it as well, so whether that's a mentor teacher or a colleague or even someone such as a friend or family member to give it a sort of a fresh look can maybe help to pinpoint some things that you overlooked. So hopefully these top 5 tips on CV writing will help you along the way when you're applying for jobs.